Hi there, it's Emma from our Fishy family. Just wanted to make a quick video about my all-time favourite fish, the Honduran Red Point. So I'm hoping this video will give you a little bit of information about them and also a sneak peek into our breeding project in the background. So as I mentioned, these are my all-time favourite fish. Their Latin name is Amatitlania, species Honduran Red Point. I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. But they may look quite familiar, and they are very similar to convict cichlids. These are said to be the cousins of the convicts. Now they are similar, but there are distinct differences between the two species, which I'll go into a little bit later on. So they were discovered in Mosquito Coast in Honduras by Rusty Wessel, who was an utter legend, and he basically brought them into circulation within the hobby. Now these were discovered in early 1989, and in particular they were in the Rio Danley, which is a river in Central America. Now there is a debate as to whether they are a separate species or they're just a variant of convicts. But, and as you'll see in the video, they do seem to have enough distinct differences to warrant them being their own species as opposed to a different strain of convict cichlids. Now you can see here we've got the convict at the top and the Honduran Red Point at the bottom, and the obvious clear difference is the colouring. So Honduran Red Points tend to have a red-orange colour to the fins, the males, and obviously that blue shimmer. And the females tend to be blue with orange or pink bellies. Now the convict cichlid tends to be black and white. Obviously this can vary among clutches and genetics, but that's usually how they look. Now the Honduran Red Point is also known to be less aggressive than the convict. So the convict is infamous for those jail bar markings on their sides and their aggressive and boisterous behaviour. Hondurans are a little bit less aggressive and a little bit more placid. Now they can grow up to 4 to 5 centimetres, which is about 10 to 12 inches, and the males do tend to get a bit bigger than the females. They're omnivores, so they eat all that fishy goodness, and they also eat their greens, and they can live about 8 to 10 years. Now these guys do need an established tank and an established mature environment, as they can be kind of sensitive to bad water quality, and also they're quite shy, so hiding spots are a must. You might also spot in this video some Colombian tetra that I popped in there. Basically we had a group of Honduran Red Points and they were so shy that they wouldn't come out. So as the fishy rule is safety in numbers, we added these guys in, and it seemed to bring them out of their shell. Now this is one of my males, and I became obsessed with this fish about 18 months ago. Not this fish in particular, but the Honduran Red Points. So we basically set up a breeding program, and this is our first breeding tank. And this is our female, who's very pale blue. And then we've also got our male with a slight orange tinge to his fins. We also have another pair. We've actually got 4 in total, but this is our female. She's actually got eggs on that rock, and I've taken a screenshot because they're quite tricky to see, but if you look closely you can see that we've got a lot of clear eggs which show that they've been fertilised, and we've got a couple of kind of creamy opaque ones which unfortunately are unfertilised, but still a decent clutch. Now you can see my female here is guarding her eggs fiercely, very defensive of their eggs, and the males and females are actually both active in the kind of care and protection of the eggs. So they will both guard and fan the eggs until they hatch. Now this is also a difference between Honduran Red Points and the convicts. The Honduran Red Points tend to have smaller clutches of around 30 to 40, whereas convicts can be up to 100 eggs at a time. Now this is our third male, and you can see here he's being a little bit aggressive, a little bit defensive and protective. So he's twitching at the minute, which is a sign of maybe anger. He's not very happy me being there, but he is in defensive mode, trying to protect his babies, and obviously seeing me, this big giant human, as a threat to the safety of his babies. So you can see there a little bit of flaring, just very aggressive and protective behaviour, kind of dashing off around the tank and again twitching. Now these pair are quite mature, they're a lot younger, hence why they've got no red or orange tinge, so they've got a bit more growing to do. But this is his female. Now she's moved the wigglers into this cave, but unfortunately the wigglers are the same colour as the substrate, so we cannot see them, but that's what he's protecting. This is another one of our tanks, and these are the wigglers. Now they're very hard to get footage of because they're so tiny and the parents are so protective and defensive that they can get quite stressed out when you're trying to take footage of them. This is another pair. We have many. If you look closely, you can see some of the free swimming fry at the bottom, and there's Mum in the background and she's always nearby. But as you can see, they're getting quite stressed with me trying to take footage of their babies and them, so it can be very tricky. Now this is our final pair, and you can see the difference that breeding colours do actually make. So he's quite pale, and if you look in the cave here, I think she does pop her head out, you can see she's quite dark. Now these two I don't think are in breeding mode at the minute, but you can see the difference that it makes when they're obviously in the mood to create babies and show off and kind of demonstrate how amazing they are, as opposed to when they're not in that mood. So that's my video about the Honduran Red Points. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and that would be brilliant. But thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!